There's a specific feature in a tool called LingQ that can really help increase your comprehension in a foreign language. About 1 to 2 months ago, I learned how to both read and listen to Spanish books that I choose at the same time on my phone. And I want to share with you why and how I did it. My name is Franklin, and this is first1000hours.com. I'm here to inspire and motivate you to complete your first 1,000 hours of your language learning marathon. I don't teach languages, but I share an out-of-the-box mentality to help you learn languages on your own in a real-world context. Before I begin, I just want to let you know that there is a referral link to LingQ in the description box of this video. I do receive a small commission if you become a paying member of LingQ. And if you do become a paying member of LingQ, please let LingQ know about that first 1,000 hours referred to you when they send you a welcome email as well. Now, some people that I have talked to, even about Google Translate, which you can use for free, I talked to them about that and in my experience using Google Translate and how it helped me to read in a foreign language. But some of the people said, I don't want to use Google Translate. Or I believe some people even probably have the mentality they don't even need to use any type of tool to read books in their target language. And the question I had for the people that were that I was talking to about Google Translate was, how many books have you read in your target language? And some of them had not read one book. They had an idea that they could just pick up a book and start reading it, but they had not really done that. And so when you actually start reading, especially if you're trying to read a high level book, you might see that it might be helpful if you have tools that can help you read faster. I'm not saying that you should use LingQ all the time or Google Translate all the time or something like that and never go out the box and try to read something. But in my opinion, tools can help you to, if something can help you achieve your goals faster, why not at least consider it? So I hope that you'll stick around at least for this video. And my question to you would be also, what is your goal for reading in your target language? Now, if your goal is just like 5 pages a year, I don't think LingQ would be worth it. And some people don't have a specific goal in reading, and some people can get to a high level like that. But I think that at least having some type of ambition and goals will help you have some kind of clear outlook of what you want to do. And so, it just basically depends on your goals and your commitment. But I want to show you at the bottom of the screen, you should be able to see how many words that I have read with LingQ. And it says 617,256 words of reading. Now, someone said that it's good to divide LingQ's word count by 3. I don't know who that person was. I forgot who it was, but I have in my mind that you need to divide LingQ's word count by 3 because LingQ counts variants of words. So let's go ahead and divide that by 3 and just do a big estimate. And that would bring me down to like reading 200,000 words in LingQ. Now, can a tool be helpful to help you read 200,000 words? I'm going to take the tool. That's me. Okay. But like I've said in some videos, sometimes I might not use LingQ. Sometimes I might read a paperback book or something like that. But I can tell you that there was a world of difference from when I started transitioning to LingQ. When I was reading my second Spanish book, I was like in the beginning of reading my second Spanish book, Palabras de Vida del Gran Maestro. And I tried the free trial of LingQ, and I was like, whoa, this is better than what I thought. I was like, I'm going to do free all the way. And hey, if you want to do free all the way, I have a video about Google Translate and you can click onto that video. All right. So, it also shows you that I have read 21,405. I know 21,405 words. You should divide that by 3, and a rough estimate is 7,000 words. And there's a discrepancy between known words and the amount of words I've read, because obviously a lot of the words are going to be the same. But the more you read, the more you encounter rarer words. And that's basically based on Zipf's law. And I need to talk more about that and go a little bit more in depth in Zipf's law, but there is a benefit to continuing reading. Now, I also wanted to point out that LingQ is not just for people that are learning Spanish. And I will click this plus box. I mean, it's not a plus box, it's a plus at the top of the screen, and you'll see how many languages you can actually use with LingQ. And so I'll just go ahead and read them. French, Russian, German, Portuguese, Italian, Japanese, Korean, Swedish, Dutch, Greek, Polish, Esperanto, Latin, Ukrainian, Belarusian. I had never known about Belarusian until today. Arabic, and then they even have beta languages: Czech, Norwegian, Turkish, Finnish, Hebrew, Romanian, Danish, Slovak, Mali, Indonesian, Chinese traditional, Cantonese, Gujarati, Bulgarian, Persian. So it's very comprehensive. Now, I am not really being tempted in looking at all these other languages. I want to stick with Spanish because right now I need to have still a focus with Spanish. And that's what I'm doing. I think it's recommended, or I know it's recommended by various polyglots to focus on one language at a time instead of trying to just do a lot of different languages. And so, okay, so now I also wanted to let you know that one thing I like about being able to read and listen to things at the same time with LingQ is that reading and listening is the backbone of comprehension. And so basically what I'm doing is I'm showing you a tool that's going to help unlock the you could say the door to more comprehension in your target language. And for myself, I do try to understand the context while reading, but I like to look up words. But when I'm listening to Spanish audio messages while driving or etc., or watching YouTube videos, I don't normally look up words or even have subtitles on. Now, if you are just starting with the target language, trying to learn that, I do recommend getting a Google extension called DualSub. And I will put a YouTube card up here if you want to learn more about DualSub. DualSub is a free Google extension, and it can allow you to have double subtitles with like as long as the video has subtitles, and then you can also have subtitles in your native language. So it helps make the YouTube videos comprehensible. And so it's a similar idea as LingQ, but LingQ also helps you now to focus on reading things faster and with comprehension, and you're able to click on words and understand what the significance is. And so I'll actually demonstrate that. DualSub does not let you click on words and find it out. You can kind of figure it out when you have the double subtitles on, especially if the target language that you're trying to understand is similar to your native language. DualSub really will be helpful. So now I'm going to go to a chapter that I just read, and that is El Deseado de Todas las Gentes, capítulo 30, and that's the English title is The Ordination of the 12, or The Ordination of the 12. Yeah. And so I'm going to click on this. You should see it. It says capítulo 30 or capítulo 30. So I just clicked on that. I just apologize a little bit. I'm using my phone, and my phone sometimes is a little bit slow. I don't believe this is a LingQ issue. My phone is slow. I've had it almost for 30 years. I'm sorry, not 30 years. That would be a long time. I've had it almost for about 2.5 years. So I am going to go now to the beginning of this chapter, and I'm here, and so this chapter is already imported, which is cool. And then I'm going to play this chapter, and you'll see at the bottom there is a little play button. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to fast forward this to about 1 minute and 3 seconds after I play it, because with the audio of El Deseado de Todas las Gentes, there's a lot of music in that. And I think it's kind of okay. I was not exactly excited about all the music that was in El Deseado de Todas las Gentes, because it's like even in the chapter, there's just music for transitioning. But I feel like sometimes it's okay because the music helps me to kind of catch up a little bit in trying to read and comprehend things, and then also be listening at the same time. But I guess this might be more of a Spanish cultural thing, but I like to act, when I want to read, I just want to really read. I don't want to have all the music transitions in there, but that's just how this audio is. So let me go ahead and click play. And then I'm going to fast forward this, like I said. So I should show you, let me show you this. At the bottom, you'll see that there's this little red dot. So I'm holding on the red dot, and then I'm kind of scrubbing this a little bit. I'm holding it still and just dragging it till I can get to about 1 minute and 3 seconds. So my finger's kind of in the way. Okay, that's good enough. 54 seconds. I'll go ahead and click play, and you'll hear some music. And then around 1 minute and 3 seconds, we'll hear someone speak. Subió al monte. I'm going to just pause that real quick. And while he's speaking, what I'm going to go ahead and do is click on some words, and you'll see that I can click on words and then try to find out what the English definition is while the speaker is still talking, which I think is awesome. And the other thing that's cool about Link is it first challenges me to understand what I'm hearing in Spanish and listening to in Spanish without any help. So this is not, I mean, this is definitely something that I can use the dictionary and whatever to learn what words mean. But at the same time, the focus is to not get me totally dependent on Link. So I'm really being able to learn skills that I can utilize in other situations, which I have done. I've read things outside of Link. So like I said, I don't just only use Link, but I'm going to go ahead and play this audio. So here we go. Y llamó así a los que él quiso, y vinieron a él, y estableció 12 para que estuviesen con él, y para enviarlos a predicar. Okay, so you could see there that I could look up the definitions. And so what I end up doing sometimes is I kind of go a little slow, but I will listen as much as I can with comprehension. And then I will try to understand from context. And if I feel like I want to look up a word, I will pause the audio, and then I will see the words on the screen. You know, I click on a word that I don't know and then just understand it. And one thing that I should point out, and I'll point this out especially later on in this video as well, is it's going to be important to document where you are in the audio, because let's say you don't finish a chapter in one setting, then you need to be able to know where the audio is, because the audio will not just leave off where you last were. And so that's what I have to do with Link. So that's one of the limitations, and hopefully Link will improve that. But the cool thing that I don't know if I said yet is I can read and listen to things I want to do, that I want to listen to and read. And so if I was just limited to what Link had to offer, then I might not even be with Link. But because they have the feature where I can import whatever I want, then I want to use Link. So I'm going to show you a demonstration of that right now. Let's say that I wanted to use Link to help me read and listen to El Camino de Cristo. And now El Camino de Cristo has a big significance to myself, that the English title of that is Steps to Christ. And I have read Steps to Christ in English, but if you've been here on First Thousand Hours, you know that this was my first Spanish book that I read, El Camino de Cristo. And I did it a lot differently. I did it in a way that was a lot harder than what I'm showing you. So I'm telling you, you can try to do it the way I did it, and you will get benefit doing it that way. But I'm telling you, this is surely easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the chapter El Camino de Cristo, because I want to put that into Link. So I will go ahead and what I did is I put my finger, let me do it again. I held down my finger until it was highlighted. The capítulo word was highlighted. I let go, and now I have these two circles below capítulo that are blue. So I'm going to now click on the one to the right, and then I will just hold and drag it. I'm releasing my finger now, and then I'm just scrolling up. Then I'll hold and drag that blue thing again and scroll up. And basically, I'm going to keep on doing that until I get to the end of the chapter. Now, there's other ways to highlight things. You could click select all and all of that, or you can highlight by just kind of dragging. Like if I was to drag this all the way kind of below the screen, it can maybe highlight a little bit. But the easiest way I've found is just to do it like this. It's a little bit slower, but it's one of the more fail-proof ways that I've found to highlight. But you can figure out how to just highlight things yourself in the most effective manner. But the main principle is just to highlight the chapter so that you can import it into LingQ. So I'm going to click now copiar, which means copy. All right, and so the other thing I need to do is I need to download the first chapter of El Camino a Cristo. So I'm going to go to a website where I can download that. And I should make let you know also that I will have links to where you can download the audio of El Camino a Cristo, or Steps to Christ, not only in Spanish and not only getting the book for free in Spanish, but also I'm going to have links of how you can get Steps to Christ in other languages. So you can do the same exact thing that I am doing with your phone. Okay. So I'm here and I can go ahead and download El Amor Supremo in audio. And so I see that green download button. So I will go ahead and click that button, and it should take a few seconds or so to download. Oh, wow, it already just downloaded El Amor Supremo. So I'm now going to go to LingQ, the website. So LingQ is an app and it's also a website. And I think on mobile, for the most part, when you're trying to read, it's better to use the app. I actually do not like using the website to read on a mobile phone. Now, I have not experimented using a tablet, but I can definitely say that the mobile phone experience with the website is not the best, and you'll see that in a little bit. But you can make up your own mind, and I might be missing out on a feature that I just don't know. But at this point, I don't like it. So I just went to LingQ. Now, if you are not at this section in LingQ, what you can do is you can click. You can go to lingq.com, and then you can log in. And then you will see at the top right, you'll see these three lines. You can click those three lines, especially if you're on your phone. It might look a little bit different if you're on like a tablet, but I don't think it will. But I don't know. It might look a little different. But anyway, you want to click Import Lesson. I am not going to click that right now because I'm already at the screen where I can import a lesson. So I will click at the top. Again, I will click those three lines to get rid of this part of that screen. And now I have that plus button and I can click import. So I'm going to click import because I want to import. I want to go ahead and import a lesson. Okay. And so now I'm here at import lesson. I guess I could have gone and clicked that link to import a lesson. But anyway, let me show you one other thing before I import this lesson. I want to click the three lines again, and you'll see that there's different options to import. You can import a lesson, you can import vocabulary, and you can also import an ebook. Now, in a previous video, I showed how to import an ebook, and that's how I was using LingQ before. And that's nice if you don't want to use any audio or you don't have any audio to use. Then you go ahead and import an ebook, and you don't have to import chapter by chapter a book. And then LingQ will go ahead and split up sections and all that. And it's just a one shot for a book. But if you want to split things up in chapters, then it's something that you need to do manually. So you go to import lesson. So I'm going to go back. I touch those three lines to get back to this screen. And then it says upload audio file. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I have not added an image. I think that's just, I mean, I guess I could do that, but I just don't see the point of doing that. So I'm clicking upload audio file. And then that's going to allow me to go to my documents so that I can go ahead and get the audio that I just downloaded. So I will click documentos, which means documents. And then what I'm going to do is go where it says downloads. And so it says descargar descargas. Okay, so or downloads, and then I see El Amor Supremo. So I will click that, and then that is setting up for that to be downloaded. So I don't know what just happened there. Normally it just works when I click it. So let me try that again. Like 99% of the time, that's what happens. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to go back here to El Amor Supremo, and I just click that. And so, all right, now here it is. And I see where it says type the lesson here. I'm going to put my finger right there and hold it until I get this thing that's going to say, let me do that one more time. It's going to say pegar. And so that means paste. So I will paste what I had copied previously, that chapter in chapter 1 of El Camino a Cristo. And so that's coming up here. And then I'm now going to hold my finger over where it says Supremo and let go. And now I will click the circle to the left of Supremo. And I will put that back over here so I can copy the title. I could click cortar, and that means cut. But for some reason, when I get into this section of import lesson, it does not take the title away. So it doesn't matter if I click cortar or copiar, cut or copy, it does the same thing. So I'll just go ahead and click copy. And then I'm going to delete the title. So let me go ahead and click that so I can go ahead and delete this. So I'm clicking the delete button right now and holding that. And now it says type the title of your lesson at the top. So I'll put my finger in that section and hold my finger down. And then I'm going to click pegar, and that means paste. And so now I have the title and what I want to import. So I have all that done, and now I want to go to the bottom of the screen, all the way to the bottom, and I have options. And one of my options is I can either save or I can save and open. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click save and open. So I'll do that right now. And the reason why I want to click save and open is because I want to make sure that this imports correctly. And what happens is after it imports, then I get to see a change of the screen, and I see that it'll take me to the lesson that I just imported on the website version of El Camino a Cristo. So I'm just waiting for that. Sometimes it'll take like a minute or two for that to upload, depending on whatever I'm uploading. But it's worth the wait, because I, again, have that ability to read and listen to things, which I like. And it makes my reading a little bit more enjoyable when I can hear a polished Spanish speaker being able to speak. And I just like it a little bit better. And I know that I'm basically killing two birds with one stone when I'm reading and listening, because then I'm continuing to train my ear to be able to understand things as well. So, okay, it just got imported. Capítulo uno. So it took me to, I'm in the website version of LingQ. So I'll show you a little bit about that, and then we're going to go to the app. But if you see at the bottom here, it says Hola Quick Start Guide. I don't like that. I don't know why that's there, to be honest. I have been with LingQ for several months, or almost a year, if not a year by now. And so I don't need a quick start guide. And then if I move this, let's see if I can move it a little bit. I don't know how I can X this thing out. So there's no X out of this. And then it just takes up so much of the screen on mobile that it just makes this, even if I wanted to use a website version, it just really doesn't, it takes up too much of the screen for me to even desire to use this. But anyway, I'll just show you a little bit of this. So at the top left, I can click the play button. So I'll go ahead and click this. And what I should say before I do that is I really like the Spanish version of El Camino a Cristo. It's a lot better, in my opinion, than El Deseado de Todas las Gentes. Although I still like the audio of El Deseado de Todas las Gentes, but I like El Camino a Cristo a little bit better because there's not all this extra music in the chapter. I mean, there's music that's, I think, a little bit more appropriate, at least for my my mentality, how my culture is, I guess. They have a little bit of music at the beginning and the end, but not throughout the whole chapter. So here I go. I'm going to go ahead and click the play button at the top left. And while that's playing, I'm going to also click on some words so you'll see how it looks in the website version.
Capítulo 1. El amor supremo. La naturaleza y la revelación aún dan testimonio del amor de Dios. Nuestro Padre Celestial es la fuente de vida, de sabiduría y de gozo. Mirad las maravillas y bellezas de la naturaleza.
Okay, so that is a little bit of how the audio works for the website version. It's going to work the same anywhere, but I just wanted to also show you how I click on words and all of that, and okay, in the website version. So now I'm going to go to the app. And so what I did is I clicked the square button at the bottom so I could just transition and come over here. So I was left off at chapter 30, and that's where I was showing you how I can read and listen to things. But let's see, does LingQ allow me to import things? I mean, I put it in the web. I just imported it in the web. Is it going to synchronize with my application? So we'll look at that in just 1 second. And again, I just apologize for my little slow, my phone. I'm going to pause this just a second because it's just going slow. And I don't believe that's because of LingQ. It's just my phone's old. I am at like the lesson portion of LingQ, but you could wonder, where is Capítulo 1 of Steps to, or El Camino a Cristo, or Steps to Christ is the English title. So what I'm going to do to sync this is I'm going to like hold my finger on like chapter 22, and then I'm going, okay, need to kind of hold and slide at the same time. Hold and slide my finger, and then basically I get that circle that comes up when I release my finger, and then Capítulo 1 comes up, Amor Supremo. So I'm going to click that, and we will see how it looks here and here, and it's going to come up just in a few seconds. Okay, so and then you'll see at the bottom left that it just loaded the audio, and so I can go ahead and play the audio, and I'll do kind of like the same thing I did for the website version. I'm just going to play it, and then I will click words at the same time.
El Camino a Cristo. Capítulo 1. El amor supremo. La naturaleza y la revelación aún dan testimonio del amor de Dios. Nuestro Padre Celestial es la fuente de vida, de sabiduría y de gozo. Mirad las maravillas y bellezas de la naturaleza. Pensad en su prodigiosa adaptación a las necesidades y a la felicidad.
Okay, so that is how the reading and listening works with LingQ. I want to show you some other limitations of using LingQ and why it is so important to know the times of recording the times of the audio as well. But let me do this step by step. So I'm going to go back to the web, and I'm going to download the audio of El Deseado de Todas las Gentes for chapter 73. Chapter 73 English title is Let Your Heart Not Be Troubled. So let's see. Oh, this is the audio for El Camino a Cristo. Just 1 second. Okay, I'm going to El Deseado de Todas las Gentes. And I want you to notice something when the website comes up. I want to show you something. You'll see, if you look at the right, you'll see different numbers. Like, and it shows you basically the length of the audio. Like one audio length is like 54 minutes for chapter 62. For chapter 64, it's 32 minutes. Just pay attention to that. You'll see that most of the audio here is not over an hour long. If I keep on scrolling up, you see like, okay, chapter 51 is, but and chapter 41 is over 60 minutes. Okay, but let me go back to chapter 73, because that's the one I said I was going to download. And so I will just go ahead again and click the green arrow. And that is going to go ahead and download El Deseado de Todas las Gentes, Capítulo 73. And so while that's downloading, I'm going to go ahead and copy the text of El Deseado de Todas las Gentes. So I'm going to just pause the video because you already saw how I copied text, so I don't have to show you again. Okay, so I copied what I want. I'm sorry, I highlighted what I wanted to copy for chapter 73. So now I'm going to click copiar. And then I'm going to go to link. And I will go to link the website again. And then I'm going to go ahead and try to import this book. So I'm going to just go back here to import lesson. And it should just take me, I just click the back button, so it should just take me to import lesson. And just waiting on this a little bit. Okay, good. I'm here at import lesson. And I'll do basically the same thing. I'm going to go where it says upload file. I just clicked on that. And in a second, it should give me, okay, maybe I didn't click upload file. I thought I did. But it should give me the option to open up documentos or documents. So I will click that. And then I will go back to my download file. Descargar. Oops, I clicked the wrong thing this time. Okay, and so I'm going to click where it says DTG 73. That's Desire of Ages, or El Deseado de Todas las Gentes. So I will click that. All right, and so I will, I am sorry about that. I am in chapter 1. It says chapter 1 Amor Supremo. I need to click the top left and then go to import lesson. So I kind of did that just a little bit off. So sorry about that. I'm going to import a new lesson instead of kind of changing El Camino de Cristo. I don't want to do that. So I will do basically the same thing I just did. I'll click import audio file. And then I'll go to documentos. And then I will go to descargar and click no se torpe resto corazón. And one thing I failed to mention here is, you don't see this on my screen right now, but if I kind of click and hold and I go to the left a little bit, then you'll see it says course. And this is important for me to do, especially like for Desire of Ages. So I actually want this imported into Desire of Ages because it'll just be easier to have everything grouped together. So I can click El Deseado de Todas las Gentes. And where is that going to be? There we go. And so it'll keep the book together instead of me having like just individual lessons all scattered all over the place. And I have not seen, if you don't do that when you start importing, I have not seen an option on mobile where you can kind of change that later. So that's something to really remember when you're trying to import. Okay, so I'm going to go back here and then click inside again of the body of the text. I'm sorry, in the body where it says type the lesson here. Sorry, let me let you see that. Like going really fast. Sorry about that. Okay, it says type the lesson here. I'm going to click and hold until I get pegar. And then I click pegar or paste. And so then again, I'm going to highlight corazón and then move the circle so that I can basically click copiar or copy. And then I'm going to delete that title. And then I'm going to click into where it says type the title of your lesson. I'm going to click and hold until I get pegar or paste. And then I have the title and all that pasted. And you're going to see that there's going to be something a little bit different this time than the last time that will happen. So I'm going to click save and open. And it says the text is longer than 4,000 words and will be automatically split into parts. You will be taken to the first part once it's imported. The additional parts will continue to be imported in the background. So I'll click OK, and then I'm just going to let it go ahead and import, but I'll just pause this so that you don't have to wait on that. Okay, I want to show you that I got an error message, and actually I should say before I talk about the error message is it was taking a little bit longer. It wasn't as fast as when I tried to upload the chapter that you just saw me upload with El Camino Cristo with the audio and the chapter. And I think it's because of the fact that I was trying to import something that was longer than the specifications outlined with LingQ. And so I'll just read that. It says, please correct the following error. Field audio. The audio length must be between 10 seconds and 60 minutes. The audio you uploaded was 81 minutes and 12 seconds. View content specifications. I really don't need to view content specifications because it just told me the specifications of audio, and that is basically it needs to be less than 60 minutes. And so I didn't do that, and so it is not going to import that, and so nothing was imported. So if I wanted to import chapter 73, I have to do that without audio. And I specifically showed you other chapter, and I'm going to do that as I talk. Actually, let me go to the bottom, and then I will just click save and open as I'm talking here. So I specifically wanted you to know about the audio lengths of the other chapters in El Deseado de Todas las Gentes, because most of the audio lengths were fine, but you can see occasionally there were some audios that were over 60 minutes, and so I'm not able to use the audio function or import custom audio function with LingQ with those type of audios, at least at this moment in time of my recording. So that is a little drawback for those who might want to import something that's longer than 60 minutes. Maybe it's a podcast that's 2 hours long or something like that. But for the most part, that hasn't been a really big issue for myself with the book I'm reading right now, because the audio lengths are less. Okay, but it split it up in sections, and I think that's an important point to also know about dealing with audio. So I'm going to show you a chapter that was split up in sections that that I was able to still import the audio as well. Okay, and so that was actually chapter 22 of El Deseado de Todas las Gentes, and there's an important point I need to make about that. So I'm right now in chapter 1 of El Camino a Cristo, so I'm going to X out of this. And before I go to chapter 22 of El Deseado de Todas las Gentes, what I'm going to do is, again, I'll show you that it actually did import into even my app, or at least I'm going to let it be synchronized into my app in a second. I'm going to, again, do the same thing where I hold down. Oh, I don't even need to do that. It just automatically comes up, and you'll see that it shows section number 1 already there. I'm going to click this down. I'm going to hold and click down and try to refresh and see if any other section comes up. I only see one section, but the thing is, other sections will appear over time. And so sometimes what LingQ does, it'll just quickly import at least one part, so you can go ahead and read, and then in the background it'll still be importing other things. But let me go to chapter 22, and if you look at this, you'll see that there are 3 sections, and so I'm going to click on section number 1. And so I'm just doing that right now, and I'm going to play the audio. And before I do that, I'm at like the end of the chapter, or at the end of the section of this chapter. And if you see at the top, you'll see like a little, you won't see the whole white dot, but there's a little white dot at the top. And I'm going to click that and then drag that to the left so that I can get to the beginning of this chapter. All right, come on, you can do it. And so the nice thing about this chapter is it doesn't start with so much music. So I'm just going to go ahead and click play.
Capítulo 22. Encarcelamiento y muerte de Juan. Juan el Bautista había sido el primero en...
Okay, I'm just going to stop it right there. Now, if you look at the left, you'll see that, and I'm actually, before I do anything, you see at the red dot at the bottom, I'm going to move that back to the 0 position. Now this audio is 54 minutes and 59 seconds long. That's very important. Keep that in the back of your mind. Okay. So it's good to mark. I mean, when you go through section number 1, if you have something that's split up into 3 sections, remember where section 1 ends and then write that down. Okay. And then let's say you go to section number 2. Now, it seems like if something's split up into 2 sections, Link does a pretty good job of knowing where the audio starts. And so I'm going to go to section 2 of Capítulo 22 or chapter 22. And then I'm going to just start the audio. I might have to actually move the words back. I mean, I have to go to the beginning of the chapter with the words. So let me do that again. So I go up to the top again, and I see the little half circle, which is really a circle. I'm going to move that to the left. If I can click on that. Yeah, now I'm just dragging it and trying to move that to the left. So I can get to the beginning of the section number 2. And then I'm going to click play at the bottom.
Los ricos atavíos y los lujos de esta vida no son la porción.
And so you can see that it just automatically used the technology with Link, which is pretty awesome, to be able to match the words with the audio. Now, I wish it did that for not only section number 2, but also section number 3, but it doesn't do that. And so if I move the red dot at the bottom all the way to the back, you'll see that this is like 32 minutes and 40 seconds. So if I remember where section number 1 ended, I would add that time to section number 2 to find out where section number 3 starts with audio. So let me go and click the X, and then I can go to section number 3. So I'm clicking on section number 3 of chapter 22, and then that's going to come up. And then when I play it, what's going to be different, and again, I'm going to move the words all the way to the beginning of section number 3, and I'm just moving that white dot again. And so I'm going to play the audio of section number 3, and what you're going to hear is it's going to start from the beginning of the chapter, so it's not going to line up the audio.
Capítulo 22. Encarcelamiento y muerte de Juan.
So I wish that it could be synchronized just like how section number 2 was synchronized automatically. I didn't have to do anything for that. I wish that it could be synchronized for section number 3. But Link is always improving, so I believe that they might look at this, and I hope, Link, if you're watching this, please change that. All right, so that is basically what I wanted to show you on this tutorial video, and I hope that you've gotten a lot of value out of that. This is a tool that if you use it, if you don't use it, if you just get Link and you don't use it, it's not going to help you. So I want you to get to a high level in the language that you're learning. But it's like if you get exercise equipment or something like that, you can get it, you get excited about it. If the exercise equipment just stays in your house, but you don't actually use it to exercise, you're not going to get the results. It's the same thing with this. If you get a Link subscription and you don't actually use it in a serious manner, you're not going to get results. And so I recommend just continue just reading and have goals and have serious goals and seek to meet your goals. And at this current time, Link costs $12.99 a month. If you do a subscription, that's what I'm on. But I think for those who want to really make an investment, which I probably will do sometime next year, but I'm not just doing it right now. If you really want to make an investment and save money at the same time, I would recommend getting the yearly subscription because you can save. I forgot how much money. I know I just saw, and I'm recording this July 4th. And so they just had a 35% off sale so that you could get Link for like $102 and I think some cents. But if you get the year subscription, I believe it's around $107 and something. So you save money and you're putting an investment in something that can help you get to a higher point in comprehension in your language. And really, this is a lot less expensive than if you were to travel and all of that stuff. And I think that you'll find if you take it seriously that it will give you some of the results that you want, but it is a process. It takes time. Okay, so I hope that you will watch. I hope that you will get LingQ again. And what you can do is please go to the affiliate link in the bottom of this video that's in the description box of this video. And that again will be where I will also be able to receive a small commission. If you've been helped by this video, then please follow that link. And then when you get the welcome email from LingQ, please let them know that first 1,000 hours referred you. And then if you become a paying subscriber, I'll get a commission. But if you do use LingQ, please let me also know about it and your experience with it. I think that you'll find that it will be a very powerful tool for yourself. And my name is Franklin, and this is first1,000hours.com.